Joining us next hour, the Hall of Fame head coach. You know, everybody's, all worked up on Matt LaFleur going for the field goal. But there were reasons. I don't have to agree with it, but just think about this. Joy Taylor joining me. Green Bay had 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, so 4 clock stoppages. Their defense only allowed Tom Brady 19 first downs all day, had played very well in the second half. And Green Bay's red zone offense had mostly stunk. So he's thinking, just get points, which has become a trend in the NFL. Get points, get it back, give our guy. So if you look at the timeout situation, they would have gotten the ball back with 1:30 left. Well, I've seen Aaron a couple times in the last few years win those games. So you're at Lambeau, you're at home. So I don't have to agree with it. But Matt LaFleur is 26-6 before that game. If I'd have told you before the game, yeah, Bruce Arians is a better coach than Matt LaFleur, there's not a Packer fan on the planet that would have agreed with that. Now you all think he's a bum. now he's terrible. It's like, if there would have been, let's say this, let's say there was 2:58 to go, then you think to yourself, oh, God, you'll get the back with ball with 2 minutes. Because I got 3 timeouts. Let's say if you don't like that, what if there's 3:09 to go? I don't think it's I think the time freaks everybody out. It did me. I'm like, no, don't do that too. But if it would have been 3:30, 3:39, I would have understood it. Now, my theory has always been, who's the best player on your team? Aaron Rodgers. Just give him the ball to win. So that's always my theory is you have to ask your coach in the game, who are my 3 best? I would argue the 2 best players are Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
So I would have gone with those. And their center, you could argue, he's a Pro Bowler. Maybe their 3 best players are on offense.
I think during the regular season, that's how you coach. That's what you do. But in those moments, like you've got to go for it. And if you don't get it, then your defense is in a better situation.
Yes, that's a very good point. If you don't get it, and this is why I would have gone for it. My takeaway would have been, listen, it's Aaron. My 2 best players are on offense. Maybe my 3 best players. We've struggled here, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put the ball in Aaron's hands. The second thing, to your point, is if you don't make it, well, Tampa's pinned deep.
Yeah. And
your defense is playing great. So you're going to get the ball back. Now, you're probably going to get the ball back with 1:30 with much better field position.
Right. And that's still plenty of time for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. So that, to me, is just as important as the go for it is that you would get the ball back in better field position.
The 2 biggest plays or moments in that game that stick out to me are that decision to the field goal and then Aaron Rodgers not running.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would have even made it. When I picture him running, like if he was fast enough to get there, but like the second of hesitation, I was like, oh, he's going to run it. But
also,
really didn't run that in.
Even if you kick the field goal, Tampa twice had very good very good kickoff returns. So twice in the games, Minkins had very good. So let's say you kick the field goal, you kick it to Tampa, and Tampa gets to the 38-yard line. Yeah. Okay, then you're buried again. So I thought it was the wrong call, but again, I don't like to games don't come down to play calling. That game, 3 Brady picks, second half, twice Green Bay went 3 and out. To me, and after that, it was just all field goals. That was the game. You got to do stuff with that. All right, here we go. Colin right, Colin wrong, brought to you by Mike Subs. Tired of cooking at home? Change it up. Just order Mike Subs, Jersey Mike's through their app. No contact delivery, no contact at door pickup. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above. Here we go.
Where Colin was right.
Years ago, when everybody started saying, Aaron Rodgers is the real GOAT, not Brady, my takeaway was there's more than just throwing a pretty football. Brady's a better leader. Brady plays better from behind. Brady's better at the line of scrimmage. Brady is more coachable. Aaron's had family members take shots at him. Brady's ex-teammates still love him. There is more to football than being cool and throwing a great ball. Being a quarterback is about leadership, relatability, how are you as a teammate. It's never been close. Tom is the best football player in the history of the National Football League. Aaron is just super talented.
Where Colin was wrong.
You know what? I was a sucker. I bought into the Packers. Once they beat the Tennessee Titans in Week 16, I was in. I kept saying, I know they're front runners. I know they're finesse. But if they could beat Tennessee in a physical football game, then I'm in. They did. But yesterday, they did something that I've seen too many times with Aaron Rodgers. When they fall behind in big games, they are not the same team. They've got a front-runner DNA. They are a baller with a lead and a Baylor trailing. And yesterday I thought they got tight.
Where Colin was right?
Oh, for about 10 years, I defended Andy Reid in Philadelphia. And I said, he's the Belichick of the NFC in Philadelphia. He bailed on the running game before everybody else. And Andy Reid, in a world of young hipster coaches, is still the king. His play design, his ability to go for it, his ability to rally the troops. He is the one head coach. Bill Belichick has never been able to stop his offenses. Go ask Belichick. He doesn't have a system. His system is, what's my personnel? Joey and I talk about this. Coaches have systems. Andy's like, what are my players? I'll build a new offense. He is great. He's been great for 20 years.
Where Colin was wrong.
Yeah, the Herd face bracket stunk this weekend. Bad weekend. So I do a face bracket where I just pick the playoffs based on who's the better quarterback in the moment. I had Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers. So that's my fault. I picked somebody over Mahomes and somebody over Brady. I think we finished 8-4 on the year, but my stupid face bracket took a beating this weekend.
Where Colin was right.
Aaron Rodgers now 1-8 when trailing at half in the playoffs. He's not the same quarterback. Now, would I vote him for the Hall of Fame? Do I think he's great? But you can't tell me he got snippy yesterday in the red zone. He's barking it. It's like Aaron plays better with a lead. Mahomes, I think, plays better trailing. Brady, it doesn't matter. He always plays the same. But there is a difference between Aaron. His body language changes. He doesn't take as many shots downfield. I thought he was really hesitant in the red zone a couple of times. Run the football. You're a very, very good athlete. You're not a great athlete, but you're a very good athlete. 1-8 now, trailing at half in the playoffs.
Where Colin was wrong.
Boy, did I miss on this. I said Kansas City would win, but they'd settle for a bunch of field goals in the red zone. Yeah, they were 5 for 5 touchdowns. Listen, since week 12, the Bills were the number 1 red zone defense, and since week 12, the Chiefs were the number 26 offense. So I said, I'm going to take Kansas City to win, but it's going to be kind of low scoring, and they're going to settle for field goals. They settled for none. I still can't get over 38-6 run against a defense that, situationally had been the NFL's best since about Thanksgiving.
Where Colin was right.
Joy and I are big fans of being aggressive in big spots. Buffalo wasn't. Sean McDermott settled for field goal, end of the half. By the way, Kansas City down 9-0. 4th and 1, could have kicked a field goal. They went for it. Bruce Arians, end of the half. Tom Brady, let's go for it. Green Bay, let's kick field goals. In big games, I think it helps the psychology of your team. Go for it. Trust your players. There's no tomorrow. And I thought Buffalo, I know it's called chasing points, but with Kansas City, you got to chase points because they're scoring on you. And I thought Buffalo and Green Bay were the tighter teams that were a little less aggressive.
Where Colin was wrong.
Listen, I picked Kansas City yesterday, but I had Buffalo as the number 1 team over Kansas City, and they were the one team this weekend that just unraveled. Listen, it's a big spot. That's a tough place to play, but they struggled stopping the Colts. They gave up almost 480 yards to the Colts. They struggled with the Ravens. Their offense dried up yesterday, wasn't great against the Ravens, was not great against the Colts, and I thought their offense was the strength of their team. But boy, that secondary for Kansas City yesterday, shut it down. I mean, shut their receiving core down.
Where Colin was right.
Well, anytime Dan Campbell's name's been mentioned the last several years, I roll my eyes and laugh. He may be a great guy. He may be a tough guy. He may be a big guy, but he feels like a pro wrestler. He got mentioned as potentially the Lions head coach, and I said, this won't be great. And then the press conference happened, and it wasn't great.
And so this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth, all right? And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right? And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up. And then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing, all right? That's going to be the mentality.
But you've bitten off everybody's kneecap, so you'll be thrown out of the game, and that won't be great.
Where Colin was wrong.
Well, I had Brian Daboll as the #1 coaching candidate this offseason. He went to college or high school with the Chargers GM, and he didn't get the job. Eric Mangini calls him the hardest working coach he's ever met. Didn't get a job. He's universally respected. Every source I have, he didn't get a job. He transformed Josh Allen. Transformed him. He didn't get a job. I thought he'd be the first guy off the market. I thought Brian Daboll would be the first guy off the market. I was told this weekend by somebody who knows him well, he's a grinder. He's not a fast riser. He maybe doesn't have the personality, the look that some people are looking for, the Sean McVay kind of quality, the Brandon Staley. I thought this guy would last about 2 minutes and didn't get any of the jobs. Didn't get any of them. All right, Colin right, Colin wrong. Trent Dilfer's around the corner. Jimmy Johnson next hour. I'm not saying the Matt LaFleur was great. But I really do believe